Hey guys, welcome back to Sabers Forever. I'm John, and today we're going to be going over the Shadow Foil Props The Child. Now, if I had a blade for this, I'd totally turn it on with a blade, but womp womp. This thing is so small. I'm pretty sure it takes a 7/8 blade, but it needs a recessed one, and I don't have that. So, without further ado, why don't we just jump right in and I'll show you exactly what's going on. Much closer, because this is so small. Alright, so this is the Shadow Foil Props The Child. This thing is really tiny. And something I do like that they did is this isn't like a high polish. You can see I'm smudging, maybe. But can you hear that? You can hear that because that's the machine finish. So it's not a crazy fingerprint magnet, but it definitely hides your fingerprints a little bit because of the machine finish. I know these came, you could get this in brass or anodized gray. Those looked pretty cool, but the customer came to me with this and just said, do your thing. So I did. The saber is installed with two stock NPXL V3s with a connector inside. There's a single tactile switch right here. There is a I believe it's a 22 or 24 millimeter speaker. I honestly can't even remember anymore. But this unscrews, and the speaker is actually ironically put in backwards, just because the venting, the way that this sits in here, all the sound comes through here, which in turn comes through these sound vented holes, and there's nothing else. So this intuitively felt wrong to do, but it works great. And this just drops in there and pushes down. Done. Don't need to glue it in. And you can see that there's access to the chassis right here. Now this is where it gets interesting. So you have to slide your switch your activation box card. So this goes to about there. You want to dump your plunger. So this will just come right out. Don't lose it. You're going to need it to turn it off and on. And there's a set screw in place right here, which you'll need a 1.5 millimeter Allen wrench. And this just, boop, comes all the way out. You'll see your chassis starts to move, and you can pull this out. So that's how you get access to your chassis. Now this has a Proffi this has a Proffi V3. This comes off if you just pull it. So you have a Proffi V3 right here. There's really no need for this to ever come off. You can access your sound card and your SD card and your micro USB right here. This has a genuine quartz crystal. Here's the stock NPXL V3. There is no high amp kill switch. The actual saber there's with the crystal chassis, the crystal chamber chassis, there's no room for it. So it has no kill switch, and it has an 18500 battery. Now this has to go in like this, like perfectly parallel, because if you don't, it's just going to sit funny. Now you'll see immediately the crystal starts to light up, and there's no sound, but that's because the speaker's in here. So once this is all assembled, you'll start to get some audio. So the saber is now on, and you can turn on the stock PCB, the neopixel connector with this switch. It's a single button saber, and so in order to turn it off, you need to hold the switch to turn it off, or you can twist on, twist off. To put the saber back in, this set screw lines up with this hole, and you'll be able to, with the plunger removed, see the switch through where the plunger would sit. And you're just going to hold this and put this back down. It doesn't need to be tight. It just needs to be flush, and it'll stop on its own. You don't need to add any tension because this is all a very snug fit. Drop your plunger in the hole like that, and slide your activation box card back on top, screw on the pummel, And now the saber is ready to go. The switch works great. The chassis held in place really well. I personally haven't had any trouble with this acting funny. It's just a really straightforward assembly. Shadowfoil Props did a great job coming up with all of this, and I give them kudos for cramming what they could into such a small saber. Grogu would be proud. Now, the reverse process for how to actually go about maybe making sure this doesn't die is the exact same. Just I'm going to go through it again with you. You have to remove the PCB here, dump your plunger, remove the set screw, and then this comes out. It's on because I've been doing things with it. And the best way to get the battery out is just cup your hand like a U, and it'll come right out. It's not really in there very tight, but it'll hold, and it's a nice fit inside the saber. So when this is received, this will actually be in the saber, and because there's no kill switch, the battery will be, it'll have a piece of tape on the positive terminal. So this will be in here, and you're going to just want to take the tape off of the top. And you'll be able to see it because it'll be sticking out a little bit. The positive side is closer to the crystal, so your nipple is always going to be towards the crystal, and the leaf spring is the negative side. So your flat side goes there, and then there's marks on the battery, positive, negative, and in the chassis, so that you don't get confused. So that basically does it for this saber, and yeah, why don't we just wrap this video up? Alright guys, that does it for this video. If you like what you see and you want to see more, make sure to like and subscribe to see more awesome props just like this guy here. They will most likely be bigger than this because, yeah, it's his. Anyways, if you have a question about install process or pricing or wiring diagrams or programming, anything, please feel free to reach out at john@sabersforever.com. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have, let you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. And if you are looking to get a KR Sabers hilt installed, I have all of his saber commissions available on my website at www.sabersforever.com. And yeah, if you just peruse the site, there's commissions, there's all kinds of stuff. There's even t-shirts. And soon, jewelry. There's also a ready-to-ship section that will be updated soon. Maybe next week there will be something new. So keep your eyes peeled on that. And yeah, until the next video, guys, may the Force be with you.